So in this video I'm going to explain why I've moved away from my F2.8 lenses to a cheaper F4 lens.
A big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video.
Morning everyone, fantastic to see you all again. I am back where I love, in the woodlands, and there's a little bit of fog as well. So I'm going to head down the gorge and see what we can find, but it looks really spectacular. Come on, Peps. So one of the things that I've done recently is I've stopped using my F2.8 lenses, my 24-70 and my 70-200, and I want to explain a little bit whilst I'm going around the woodlands why I've done that, and I'll tell you the one lens that I've got with me, my favourite lens for woodland photography.
When you came over, my heart was on its way out. I wasn't sober and I was thinking out loud.
Okay, the fog is dissipated in the woodland, which it quite often is here, but this woodland is just so amazing. So many twisted trees down by Padley Gorge here. I need to find some fog though, so I'm going to head, I'm a little bit late, I'm going to head a little bit further up here, and when I came in I saw fog in a different part of the woodland, so hopefully me and Pebbles, who's now in the mud, are going to hopefully find the fog. Okay, still no fog, but I think I've seen some up here, so I'm walking a bit higher and I think that's going to work. It's a question of chasing the fog. The other thing is, no hat. I left quite quickly this morning and I forgot my hat. So yeah, I do have hair. Whee! Oh, it's definitely getting foggy up here. Ooh. Right, I've got some fog. This is super exciting. So I think I know of a few compositions around here, and we've got silver birch as well, which has really got really nice colour on them, still got the leaves on them. So hopefully we're able to find something up there. Oh, this is fantastic. Right, let's go. So I've seen this tree here, but there's a gap in the middle of it here, and I'm not sure it works because I need, like, it works with me in it, but I'm not sure. But there's a path just to the right there with some nice woodland sort of oak trees, so I might try that. Pebbles is loving it, she's running around everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to go that way, I think. I might take this, I'll show you what's wrong with it, and then I'll go and have a look at that one. And then I'm going to tell you the lens that I'm using for this. My favourite lens for woodland. Okay, I think I might have found something. So I've got this tree with a V shape here. What I really like though is that branch that's sort of fallen over there. So I've got that on the right hand side, and then this lovely wall that we have so much of in the Peak District. And they sort of just seem good. I think this might be a little bit too dominant, which is the only problem. But we've also got a bit of mist in the background, which just makes all the difference to the shot. So I'm going to take this. I think this is at the wider end, around about 30mm. And I might just try and get closer into that mist. Fingers crossed we can get something really special. So, the lens that I use, you've probably guessed it already. It's a 24-120 f4 lens, and this is an S lens from Nikon. It's not as sharp as a 24-70 f2.8, but it just gives you that extra reach, and that extra reach is so important. So I've got a scene here and I just want to sort of explain it to you, and I'll just show you what I mean by that. So here I'm at 24mm, and you can see I can get this whole scene in, which is pretty good. Now if I go through to 70, then that gets me to about there. Let me just brighten it up a little bit. So that would be good. I mean, that would be a nice composition, but maybe I want to take that tree straight down there and get a bit tighter, or just compose this bit here. The extra 70 from there to there is so useful in woodland. It makes such a big difference. So having that extra reach is way better than having that tiny little bit of extra sharpness of the f2.8 lens. So it makes a really big difference, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about my thought process as well as we go around and try and find some more photos. But at the moment we're just trying to find fog, and it's really hard. So this is why I like having a really high tripod when I'm in the woodland. I've got this branch here, and I'll show you it lower in a minute, but without being able to get really high, I can't get the sort of depth perception that I want in this shot. So this is about the highest tripod that Benro do, I think. I'll put the model of it somewhere here so you can see, but just by getting that much higher makes a bit of a difference. I'm not 100% sure about this shot because I feel like there's too many sort of horizontal lines, but I thought I'd show you anyway. So I've got this branch here, and then these silver birch and the mist in the background. I think it looks really good, apart from I just want a little bit more of a diagonal on it. So I'm going to try and just a few different compositions, but I thought I'd show you this really high tripod position. And if I lower it, I'll lower it in a second, just before I show you the shot, and you'll see the difference.
You lay beside me, you held my hand in the dark. I started fighting, 'cause I was scared of it all. And isn't it glorious how love gets the best of
Right, this is so beautiful. Oh my word. The fog is coming into this bit here, the sun's behind. There's this beautiful silver birch tree that's got leaves on it still. It's got wet leaves, they look fantastic, and these amazing rocks. So I tried to sort of put all this together. It's quite busy, but I feel like it works because I feel like your eye comes down from here into there. And whilst I'm just talking about this, I want to talk about the settings I've got. At the moment I've got F13 because I want everything to be in focus front to back. I don't want to have to focus stack. I could probably use F11. The fact is I'm not going to use F2.8, and that's why an F2.8 lens, for me, I don't need that wide open aperture. As a landscape photographer, I virtually never shoot at F2.8. So, you know, an F4 is fine, and having that extra reach and just being able to take one lens, not worry about changing lenses, that is so fantastic when you're in such a beautiful place as this. And as I talk, the mist has gone. Good job I got a photo. So as you can see here, I am on almost 120 millimeters, and this is a perfect example of a shot where I want to be able to shoot at a longer focal length, because I don't want to go too close because it'll become too wide and I won't be able to get this compression. But I've got this nice tree here just against the rock. I'm being careful where I'm placing the branches, so I'm placing that branch at the top there in the gap, and I might need to go a little bit higher to give it a little bit more space. But without that 120 millimeters, I just wouldn't be able to take this shot. And I used to take my 24-70 lens as my woodland lens. So yeah, this is special down here. It's like so quiet, and the mist is beautiful. So I've just taken this shot here, and I'm not 100% sure about it, but when I look at the detail and the cobwebs, I think it might look really good when you look at it afterwards, because I think there might be a lot of detail that comes out on the print. So I'm going to be interested to see this. What do you think, Pebbles? Any good? So I've got a really nice shot now just down here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm using this path just to lead your eye, but this dead branch that's just fallen across has got some cobwebs on it, and it looks so fantastic. So yeah, really think this is going to work. And then I've got the trees at the top just sort of covering up most of the sky, which I think might work as well. I've had to sort of get into a funny position because there was a dead branch. And then I'm also going to zoom in a bit and probably shoot a little bit longer as well, but it might just be a little bit too foggy for that. Too foggy. Never happy, am I? So the light is coming out up here and it's starting to cast these amazing light rays. I'm really hoping that I can get them, but I feel like I'm chasing my tail a little bit. Oh, it's that fear of missing out that you get as a photographer. You always think there's something better elsewhere, but you just got to slow down, have an apple, concentrate, and you'll get something good. But yeah, the sun's coming out there, it looks good. I'm going to go up here and head back to the car, but I think there'll be many stops on the way. Come on, Peps. So just as I came through the gate, I went up the hill a little bit and then came across this amazing oak tree up here. So I've got like the wall diagonally going up to the oak tree, connecting this sort of bunch of silver birch and this oak tree. It looks so good. It doesn't get better than this. This is so good. Oh wow, it looks so good there as well. There's like a backlit bit of fern. And some light rays. This is so good now. I'm shooting back into the light and I've got these amazing ferns here. They really look good. It's just like really ethereal looking. And I want to say something about the lens as well, because I'm using this 24-120, and one thing that's really important with a lens like this is just try to understand the characteristics of it a little bit. So understand where it's sharp, where you need to be a little bit careful, and you know, do some tests at home. You know, maybe shoot at different apertures, at different focal lengths, just to find out where's sharp, where's not. I know with this one that the 24mm end of it is pretty good, but I've just got to be a bit careful when I go to sort of f13, f14. But yeah, it doesn't get better than this. This is so beautiful. I had to print one out, didn't I? This looks lovely on cotton etching from PhotoSpeed. Such a nice paper. It's got a little bit of a texture. It looks so nice. What a morning. And this image was something that I really liked. I love this oak tree here. Colours are really late this year, aren't they? And it's still got a lot of green leaves, but it looks really good. I also really like this shot as well. I think this turned out really, really well. The interesting thing is all about this lens change. And I think we get caught up in, I talked about it in last week's video, just this pixel peeping quality and getting the best photo from a technical point of view, rather than the best photo from an aesthetics point of view. And aesthetics is the most important thing. You can't have a sharp, poorly composed photo, but you can have a slightly less sharp, well-composed photo. Okay, so let me just show you some things in here. You can see that I've got 2023 selected and all my apertures, all my focal lengths, and then the lenses I use. And you can see quite clearly here that I've taken, and by the way, this is my picked and 3-star photos and any photos that I've also edited. So my 24-120 f4 lens is by far the most used lens. Then the 100-400, and then the 24-200, and then the 14-30 f4, and then the 14-24 f2.8. The 14-24 f2.8 is the one f2.8 lens that I do try and use if I can, because the 14-30 very much softer at the outside at 14mm than that 14 to 24. But the others, you really can't tell a huge difference. This is a really good way of doing it, by the way. You just go into the library and then you just go and find use the find tool to find different stats about your shots. And if I go back 2 years to 2021, so you can see here that the 24 to 70 f2.8 was my most used lens. And I used that over the 24 to 70 f4, but to be honest, I don't really know why, because those lenses are both spectacular. And then I didn't have my 100, well, I just got my 100 to 400, so the 70 to 200 f2.8 was a well-used lens as well. So there's been quite a big shift in the lenses that I use to these f4 lenses that I feel are more versatile over the last 2 years. And I'm really happy with that. I'm just writing a blog as well, by the way, so you know, why I've stopped using my f2.8 lenses, and I'm going to share some of the images, because one of the things on YouTube is I don't have control so much over the YouTube compression, but on Squarespace, when I upload my photos into Squarespace, then I can upload them at high quality. You can see them as I expect them to be seen, and I have control over that. Squarespace is a fantastic platform. I've talked about it so many times before, but if you're looking to build a website, and I definitely encourage it, if you're a landscape photographer or any photographer, share your images online, because it is so nice when you have it on your own website rather than something like Instagram. So if you want to build your own website, or maybe start your own store, you can set up your own e-newsletter with Squarespace as well. It's super easy, no technical skills needed. I'll leave a link in the description. You can get 10% off. Go to squarespace.com/Nigel, or use offer code Nigel. But yeah, I'm just doing this blog at the moment. I'm just starting it, in fact, so I'll put a link to the blog in the description below. That's it really for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to be more woodland videos over the next few weeks, I suspect, as we get to the peak of autumn, which is a little bit later this year. Thanks ever so much for watching. Give it a like if you like it, and please subscribe if you've not subscribed. Until next Sunday, bye. Another one of my favourite f4 lenses is the 24 to 200mm lens. Check out this video to see why I like it so much.